Uber Sports TV. I'm here with Frank Warren. How you doing, Frank?
I'm good, yourself?
How was your travels? I know we talked about it a little on the elevator, man. It's a lot of work, huh?
A lot of work by a lot of people who wanted to make it happen. Weren't looking for obstacles. We're looking to knock all those aside to find out who's the best heavyweight in the world.
Now, the other day I heard you on the radio. You had an epic showdown with Barry Hearn. How was that, man?
Well, I didn't know he was going to be on there. No one told me. He knew I would be on there, but I didn't know. But it's okay. We said what we had to say. And I think anybody listening to it knows what the score is as far as he's concerned, and his desire to put Anthony Joshua in with anybody who's got a pulse.
Now, everybody was saying that this fight wasn't going to happen, and
everybody wasn't. One person was saying it, and that was Hearn. But as always, his propaganda, everything he says is full of BS, and it did happen because we wanted it to happen. We made it happen.
Now, why you think that he said that when he said that this is such an important fight? You know, it's a good fight for the sport, but then he turns around and he says, "Oh, it won't happen."
Oh, because he's a bit of a prick, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, it's up to him. It's what he said, but the fact of life is, it is happening, and I can't be responsible for the stupid statements he makes.
Now, the funny thing is, I heard an interview that Eddie Hearn said. He stated that you guys contacted him about a fight with Joshua, but he himself said that Tyson Fury wasn't ready for that fight. But then he turns around and he says that this fight shouldn't happen because Tyson Fury said that he wasn't ready. But in another interview, he said that he told Tyson Fury he wasn't ready. Could you respond to that?
Well, quite easily. He wanted to sign Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury came with me. We've worked with him in the past. He signed with me. Up until the time he was signing Tyson Fury, Tyson was a great fighter who was going to fight in big fights. And he made a statement, if I remember at the time, saying Tyson Fury only wanted to fight bums. That was out of his mouth.
Right.
Well, he's proven that's not the case. He's up there and he's fighting, the guy that Anthony Joshua wouldn't fight.
Right. Now, how does it feel to have one of the top 3 heavyweights in the world? I know each one of the top 3 are with different promoters. How does it feel to have one of those top 3?
It's nice to be involved in big shows. I mean, I've been in the boxing business for many, many years, and I love the sport, and I love being involved in the day-to-day business of it, and working with someone like Tyson is good. I mean, because he's such a outgoing guy. Look, people turn out for him. I know they're here for Wilder as well, but he adds some pizzazz to it. He's always comes out with something unexpected, and it's a joy to be there working with him. So I'm delighted.
Now, why was it so easy to make this fight?
Because everybody wanted it to happen. Promoters wanted it, the managers wanted it, but more importantly, the boxers wanted it. You've got to take your hat off to them. Both of them undefeated. Both want to find out who's the number 1.
Now, me personally, I don't like to say another fighter is scared of a fighter because they put their life on the line when they step through the ropes. But do you think that Anthony Joshua himself is afraid to fight Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder?
No, I don't think he is. I don't think he's a very brave guy. I've seen him. He fought in the World Amateur Championships in Kazakhstan. Got to the final. I thought he won that. He got cheated. He's an Olympian. He's done everything that's been asked of him. You've seen him on the floor. He's got on the floor. He's shown he's a lion. He's a fighter. The unfortunate thing is the people around him don't want the fights because they don't want to lose their cash cow.
Now let's say Tyson Fury wins this fight running away. Where do you see him going next? I know we don't like to look too far in the future.
I don't think I think that's where everybody's going to be in for a shock. I don't think he is going to be running away. I think you're going to see, as soon as that bell goes, I think they're going to get down on it, and I think you can see a great fight.
I know, and I'll say this because we expected fireworks between him and Vladimir Klitschko, but it seemed like he pretty much shut out Vladimir Klitschko.
Look, I fancy the fight with Tyson. I really do fancy he can win the fight. I go back to a few fights where my guys were not given an earthly to win the fight. I could go back to when Frank Bruno was going to fight McCall. No one gave Bruno a chance. He won the fight. Mike Tyson fighting Danny Williams. Danny Williams is going to be a sacrificial lion. He destroyed Mike Tyson at the end of the day.
Right.
And that's the heavyweights. You start going down to the lower divisions. We've had lots of wins. Tragic fight, but Nigel Benn beating McClellan, quite a few of those. Joe Kawasaki beating Jeff Lacey. I think that's what's going to happen here. I think we're going to get a similar situation. You guys are all going to be shocked. I'll tell you what, the least shocked people that are there on the night is Tyson Fury's team, which includes me.
Now, how do you feel about Barry Hearn saying they had a plan already set in place for Anthony Joshua, and that Fury and Wilder wasn't in those plans in the near future?
Well, unfortunately, the world don't revolve around Barry Hearn, does it? You know, that's why we're all here today, making fights that matter. This is a fight that matters. You know, Anthony Joshua's next fight is going to be against Dylan White. He beat the guy who's already beaten 7 rounds. That's where it's at. And who cares what Barry Hearn says? You know, he has no influence over what's going on here at all. They like to think they have, but they've got zero influence. This is like-minded people making the fights for the fans. That's what we're doing.
Now, how do you see this fight doing in pay-per-views, as far as pay-per-views go?
I think it's going to do tremendously well. I mean, these guys are cranking it up. Look, you know, you got to expect the unexpected with these. They get on well, then the next minute they're at each other's throats. I mean, that's how it is. But at the end of the day, the 1st of December is all that matters. That's when we're going to see and find out who is the real #1 heavyweight in the world.
Now, we saw yesterday things got a little heated, and you had to put your life on the line. You jumped in the middle.
Well, I told them they didn't behave themselves. None of them fighting on the 1st. I'd have knocked the both of them out.
Thanks, Frank. Oh, one more thing, Frank. We know we saw the situation with Billy Joe Saunders and Demetrius Andrade. What's the latest on that?
The latest on that is that he's licensed to box by the British Boxing Board, controlled by the United Kingdom Anti-Doping. He also falls into the criteria of WADA, who do all the Olympics. It's just that WADA, which is a voluntary association, do not have the same criteria as those other organisations, which is the drug that they found in it, which came from a nasal spray, is allowed up until the day before a fight, whereas WADA have a different criteria for it. It's a nasal spray. Everyone wants the fight to happen. Why wouldn't you want it to happen? It's a great fight. Andrade's finally getting his chance. Billy Joe Saunders, who came over to Canada with David Lemieux, you all see that fight, took him to school. He wants to do the same thing about Andrade. Why wouldn't anyone want to see that fight happen? He's licensed. He's licensed in Britain. Great Britain has the toughest drug regime of any organisation. You get found there, your licence is gone. UCAD, same thing, your licence is gone. He's licensed.
Now, is it true that WADA gives you a list of things that's banned before?
Yeah, well, they didn't give them to me. They gave them to his trainer, and that was in there. But he took an over-the-counter from a pharmacy nasal spray.
Okay.
It's an ingredient in a nasal spray. It's nothing being injected to him. It's in a. You take a nasal spray, you would fail that test according to WADA.
Right.
If you were boxing.
Has he been stripped, or is he still?
No, he hasn't. He's lying. Of course he's not been stripped.
Now, is it up to the Massachusetts to decide?
Next week. They got a license. If they don't license him, then we see what our options are.
Now, let me ask you this one more thing, Frank. We see you have the struggle with making a fight with Fury and Joshua. How is it doing business with Eddie Hearn with other fighters? Because we see that obviously you did business with Andrade and
I do the right thing for my fighters.
Right.
That's what I got to do. It's a good deal for us with Bill. Bill wanted to travel, and that's what it's all about. It was good for my fighters. It's not about the ego of it for us. It's about delivering the fights. One, I feel my fighters will win, but more importantly, making the fights that count.
Right. Now, what is it that people feel like? We know it's a long and lasting feud between you and Matchroom, but what is it that people say? I've seen people say that, oh, Frank Warren is just jealous of Eddie Hearn or Barry Hearn or Matchroom. What is it about that goes on in the UK?
Nothing. I'm not jealous of anybody. I've done what I come here to do, make the big fight. We made the fight.
Right.
I don't worry about what they do. All I worry about is what I do and what we deliver. We built a TV station, Box Nation, the only 24/7 boxing channel in the world. 6 years ago, still running. They were telling us we'd be out of business in 3 months. 6 years on. Let's see what happens to Zone. Well, that's going to be here in 6 or 7 years' time. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We got to deal with BT, a massive corporation, blue chip company in the UK, and we've done a great job with them in the last 18 months. And we're now entering into pay-per-view with them. So I've got nothing to worry about other people. All I've got to do is worry about what I'm doing. I worry about what I'm doing, then I know I'm okay.
Now, how does that work exactly? To put, if Tyson Fury was to fight Anthony Joshua, how does that work exactly with this zone?
No one's done a deal, is there? And I've got to be honest, that's a long way down the road. We'd fight anyone. Tyson Fury's a fighter. He went to Germany to fight Klitschko. No problem. He's coming to America to fight Deontay Wilder. He's a traveller by name, traveller by nature. He comes to fight. He'll fight anybody because that's what he is, a fighter. Not staying at home, he'll get on the road and he'll show everybody what he's done.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Frank.